been a technician and a master mechanic for about 25 years now. In that period of time, I've had to make some tools to make my job quicker and easier. That saved me time and made me money. In the next 7 minutes, I'd like to tell you about a company we made. It's called Master Tech Products, and we've made a few of those tools available to you. I'm going to show them to you, and I hope you'll enjoy what you're seeing. So let me walk over to the car. We've all used this tool before. It's let us down. You pump like a crazy man trying to find that leak and you just can't get there in time. This is about obsolete. About time to use a tool that's going to do the job. Master Tech's air-operated radiator pressure tester goes on easy. Click the cap in place. Now, you want to pull the trigger on, lock the trigger in place, and slowly adjust the regulator up until you can read the pressure you need. Once the pressure is where you want it, you're done. Now it's time to find the problem, fix the leak, and do the job. You notice I didn't fill the system up. I didn't have to. The constant flow of pressure from the Master Tech radiator pressure tester, it's doing the work for me. I'd either be looking for a leak, or in this case, I can hear the hiss. Looks like it probably started someplace in the front of the motor, maybe the water pump, and let's go listen. Well, no, it isn't the water pump, it's the bypass hose, and we're right on it. Now I know exactly what it is. Time is money, diagnosis done. Let's move on to the next problem. Now it's time to fix this hose. First thing we want to do is release the trigger, let the pressure off of the system. When we read 0 on the gauge, we know we're ready to do it. But let me show you a trick. If I reach down here and undo the petcock, and come back up here and repressurize the system, now I'm letting the constant air pressure from the Master Tech tool push the fluid with the dirt out of the system. When I go to replace this bypass hose, the system will be clean. This is doing a quick flush, faster and better than you've ever done one before. You'll save time and make more money. Now while the tool's working, I'm going to go get my tools. When I hear it hiss, I'll take the pressure off of the system. Hose is on, system's full, thermostat's open. Now it's time to check our work. Want to take the tool, pull the trigger on, dial the pressure up. I like to go 5 pounds above the cap pressure, then release the trigger. The pressure will slowly drop down. When it reaches the cap pressure, I'll set the regulator. Now I want to hold this pressure for 2 minutes to make sure my work is done. This will sit here and do the job for me. You like the tool? So do I. Time to move on to another job. Time is money. Now here's an interesting problem. This old Jeep's probably got a blown head gasket. We worked it pretty hard this winter. It's using up antifreeze and puffing a little white smoke out of the tailpipe from time to time, but we're not sure which one it is. It's time to let the tool do the work for us. I put this on about 2 hours ago, and I was working on another car while the tool was working for me. Now let's see if it's helped us find the problem. Let's take a close look. All right, there we go. Let's crank this motor and see what we got. There it is. Okay. Now let me show you another trick. Let's let the pressure off of this son of a gun. Okay, now we're going to open up the petcock and do a quick flush on the system. I'm doing this for 2 reasons. I got another test to show you in a couple seconds, and I want to clean all the antifreeze out of here so I don't have to deal with the mess when I pull the cylinder head off. We'll get back to this in a couple seconds when it's flushed out. Well, to let the tool find out that we had a bad head gasket, now it's time to let it do another little trick for us. Let's make sure we know why we're pulling this motor apart. I've already done the training quick flush. Let's put the trigger on and dial the pressure up to about 22 psi. Now we'll let this son of a gun sit there and fill the system up with air, and I can actually hear the air leaking out of this cylinder head. Now I'm going to use my stethoscope and a piece of copper tube bent at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to go inside the spark plug hole and actually look for the leak. There, I can hear it hissing right there. There it is, it's loud. There it is, I'm on it. Okay, we got it. All right, I'll pull this out, and I can see that I was pointing right at the cylinder head gasket. Well, now I pretty much convinced myself we've got a bad head gasket in this thing. I'm going to save myself some time and make some money. Pull this off, and if the cylinder head's flat, I'm not going to send it off to the machine shop. I'm 99% sure I've got this one wired. And let's face it, one trip to the machine shop actually paid for this tool. I hope I've shown you some things about this that are going to wind up making money for you out in the field. And I'm sure you're going to have a lot of stories to tell after you've used it for a while. What about those little small leaks, the ones that are disappeared and you're just using a half a gallon a week? I put this tool on at 8 o'clock in the morning, crank it on, crank the pressure on, and let it work. Right through lunch, I'll come back after lunch. If I've got a leak, I'll find it. After 6 hours under pressure, it's going to show a spot on the floor or underneath the heater box. It's going to tell me where it's leaking. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this tool. I've got a few more to show you. And hey, I think this will save you a lot of time and make you some money too. Thanks. A couple more questions about this air-operated radiator pressure tester you should have the answers to. Number one, can I damage a radiator with it? No, you can't. Even with 160 pounds of air pressure coming in through the inlet, this is orifice down to 1/70th of the size of the regulator hole. You can't overcome the regulator, even with shop air coming up inside here. Don't worry about it. Well, taking a lot of your time with Mechanics' Funniest Home Videos, I got one more thing I'd like to show you. We're probably going to release this fairly soon. We made an adapter for PT003, the air-operated radiator pressure tester. Got tired of having all those adapters in our box that fit everything that was around. Instead, this one will fit just about everything you got. If you take a look at this, she'll fit little Toyotas, all those foreign jobs, sit there good and solid, fit all the American ones, and the way it's designed, fit whatever you have, screw tap adapters, doesn't make any difference what the thread is. We're sealing on the inside right here.